uh, I'm not ready to Michael Winslow this bitch. You know what I mean? I'm not ready to do that. All right. You asked. You asked. Yeah, I know. Again with this, we're gonna pay royalties. Okay, here we go. You ready? So, so it goes. Hit me. You gotta throw some cold water on this situation. Stop talking about nerd stuff. You is mainstream now. When you use the word nerd derogatorily, it means you're the one that's not, but it's like, guys, NetHeads, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we'll fix that in post now. Because then we just come in, I show the episode number on the video, which I'm doing. Then we can say, yeah, there, welcome everyone, another edition of NetHeads. My name is Will. If you want to take part in the program, can one of many ways. One of them is the Twitters. Trent, how do they do that? Don't play with your mixer on the air. You'll go blind. Right? I don't think they have to do anything to derail the show. We seem to do that just fine on our own. Yeah, and the Facebook is a good instant live distributable thing, but it's are we really adding value to it right now? Not so much, but that's okay. We do it because we enjoy it, Trent. Also, if you guys want to reach out to us, you go ahead, man. Go ahead. Oh, of course not. Why would you? Why not? No, it's just Jesus hates us. Yeah, hold on. Let me Ecclesios, what is he what? By the way, you shouldn't speak because nobody can hear you right now. Funny you should mention that, William. Are we, though? Not feeling it so much. Hold on.
Boxes. Oh.
Well, that's probably you coming back at yourself, right? Yeah, see, we don't want that. Okay. So. Oh, yeah. Well, that's because my head is nice and close.
Great. Oh, someone screenshot that right now, please.
There you go. Screenshot what?
You had this look of just like, why in the fuck are we doing this?
I did.
Well, it was awesome. It was so good. I loved it.
Well, the thing that I love is that there are all of these people that have these wonderfully polished presentations, and they go live, and it's like I don't know. Look, it's not every day that you get to sit down and like run a test of all this crap, every single time, but it worked fine the last time, and nothing has changed.
Yeah, at all.
But now it defies us. So now we have the good news is we've got the audio recording.
We do.
So that means we could easily just have a show and move forward. But now the other beautiful part is we've got once again another broken video.
Yeah.
Out there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I'd say we throw in the towel. That's it. We're done. Forget it. We're through.
We can't even George this episode.
Well, the thing that ticks me off the most about it, Trent, isn't because we could write off the existing YouTube, we could write off the existing Twitch easily, right? Facebook Live though, they make you schedule that shit 15 minutes in advance.
Yeah, which is weird, right?
I mean, a little bit.
I think it is.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, are they trying to make sure that we're really putting some thought forth before we do this? But obviously their scheduling tool must need that extra bit of time to make sure it can coordinate all the details and infos.
Yeah.
Everything's got to integrate together. Anyway, welcome everyone. I'm sure you've enjoyed listening to this wonderful little banter that nobody wants to hear, nor nobody needs, I think,
Or
in their
should
life.
they? Yeah.
Unless of course you try and do things overly complex when you don't have to, and sometimes things don't go right, and you want somebody to empathize with. Well, then you know what? We're here for you, Trent.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
That's what we are here for.
Yeah.
We're actually here for a lot of things. I heard. Have you been keeping up with the Nintendo Switch at all, Trent?
Well, I having recently purchased the newly released Nintendo 2DS XL, I get all their emails trying to get me to buy a Switch.
Trent, I got to tell you that sounds like the size of my shirts. What did you? The Nintendo what?
Yeah, so the Nintendo 2DS XL. All right, so it's the same dimensions as a 3DS. It just doesn't have the gimmick of 3D.
That's it. It just doesn't
Yeah.
have. It doesn't try and give you extra depth
Totally.
or nothing.
Yeah, and it's great. It gives you the two screens to play on. It's a clamshell now. The old 2DS was just one solid chunk of plastic. And I'll be honest, dude, it is like I'm gaming more now than I ever have, and watching bubblegum brain television more so at the same time while gaming.
So
But it's great though.
So
It plays
you've
all the
been
3D
sitting in
games
your chair,
Yes.
just gaming away.
Yep. Yep.
While you got TV on in the background, that's just like whatever.
Totally. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not even in the background. It's like this weird, like I've reached this vortex of stimuli that is fulfilling any social need I once had in my life. That's really just perpetuating this mindset of bachelorhood that I've really just come to accept in my life.
Wow, dude. I'm not sure if that was profound or sad.
So to answer your question, yeah, I know a little bit about the Switch.
Well, I heard recently that a new update came out that they are saying is like a game changer. It's something
Really?
that has helped really take it to the next level. But I don't know what the update was. For all I know, it could have been enabling Bluetooth headset. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the last email I got from them is just telling me that Fire Emblem Warriors is coming out, and that's one thing. Getting into the Nintendo scene, which I haven't been in ever. Holy shit, there are a million JRPGs. That's Japanese role-playing games out there, and it sucks because I just don't really like role-playing games on the computers. Not my
Not at
thing.
all.
It's a dude. I'm a casual gamer at best, and you've got to invest so much time,
Yeah,
and like effort and care about stuff.
I gotta ask, did you ever play like the EverQuest or the World of Warcraft? Ever get into any of those?
The closest thing I ever did was when SWOTOR came out. I joined a bunch of listeners from NetHeads, and we dabbled a little bit, but it was still like I just couldn't get into it. That, and I have this innate ability to find every glitch in a game. So where we'll be like going on a raid or something, they have to leave me at the bridge because I'm stuck in the wall every damn time.
Look, guys, what do you know? Trent found the one piece of
Yeah.
semi-permeable
Ridiculous.
ivory, or not ivory, but like marble.
Yeah.
How do you? Well, in some cases though, that could be handy because I remember like playing EverQuest. If you wanted to get into like not Lower Guck, there was a place called the Hole, right?
Okay.
But you had to have like what I think would be considered a negative faction in order to interact with the people you would need to in order to fulfill a quest to get a key to be able to go in. Well, it just so happens that it was also glitched, so you could like duck your way past the door just by like
Okay.
squatting
Yeah.
up and down really
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah. Oh, you do one of these.
Yeah, exactly, just like that,
Yeah.
Trent.
Yeah.
And
In the fighter community, we call that teabagging.
oh, very good, very good. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what it would be because if I
Yeah.
were to pull it back to a
Mm-hmm.
third person perspective
Mm-hmm.
instead,
Mm-hmm.
I could then be
Yeah.
seen squatting.
and
I
and in
get
the
it.
and in the fighter community, you don't like in first person shooters. Usually, teabagging is after you pwn someone, you jump on top of them and then pop up and down, pop up and down, pop up and down. But with in the fighting community, basically, if you think someone is like being like, oh, come on and attack me. Why don't you just come at me, huh? Why don't you come out and get me? Oh, you can throw fireballs the whole time. Oh, then you just start teabagging the air essentially, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. I don't know. It's since the communication is so limited, especially with like Street Fighter 5, to where like the only like conversation you can even have in like battle rooms are like predetermined. Hey, that was fun. You guys enjoying this? What should we do now? It's the only way of like giving the bird to someone you can in the gaming, and so it's kind of taken on its whole new thing. However, not at all related to the teabagging within Morrowind. What was it? EverQuest, World of Warcrafts
World of Warcrafts.
that you were teabagging.
EverQuest. That was yeah,
EverQuest.
that
There
was
we go. Yeah, yeah.
EverQuest.
That's the one with the elves, right?
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's got the elves in it. Trend
That's what I thought.
might go out on a limb and say there may be some orc-like or goblin-like
Whoa, hey
creatures as
now,
well.
hey now, we're not going to encroach on any J.R.R. Tolkien IP here, are we?
Oh yes, no, of course not.
Okay, okay.
They have halflings instead of hobbits.
Okay.
But they do run around barefoot with really big feet. But you know what?
Oh,
Don't let that
well,
bother
silly
you.
halflings.
Yeah, the reason why I bring those up though is because like those were games where it really, yeah, it could be addictive, but it was also very time consuming. You had to really make a commitment, and that's not the way I like to game. I like to sit down. I like to put my game in. I like to play a game in story mode. I like to get from beginning to end. And of course, there's always the one or two really late night into early morning sessions where you just want to kill yourself because you can't pass this goddamn law. I'm just going to go one more time, Trent. Just one more.
Yeah, just do
I'm
it
going to
one
go
more
one
time. And if we don't get it, then we're done. Oh,
Done.
we were so close that time. I think if we just if you attacked first and then I positioned behind and did my healing spells while you were attacking first, we might have a let's go around again.
Maybe so. You know what, Trent? I've got so much time invested in this now. If I don't pass this level, what do I have to show for myself?
Right. Yeah.
Never mind the fact that afterwards, even after you've accomplished that level, you still have nothing to show for yourself.
I was just gonna say exactly. Yeah, there's still no real. Yeah, you've got some fake monies that you could maybe sell IRL to some extremely lazy people.
IRL, LOL,
Yeah,
Raffle Mao, my friend.
Raffle Mao.
Anyway, thank you everybody tuning in. I really appreciate it. When we had a little powwow ahead of time, trying to figure out not why everything wasn't working, because that one we'll never know. But we were discussing some things like, oh, you got any topics? And I actually have one, Trent, that was brought. I wasn't even aware of this.
Okay.
But it was brought up to me by one of the people I know on the Twitters. In the Twitterverse, he's the editor for Man Caves.
Oh, yeah.
The TV show that built Kevin Smith a new studio in his home office, right?
Yeah.
And I honestly, I wish I was aware of this because it sounds like exactly the type of thing that I recently filled out a one of those like customer service, not like a survey, when they like a market research survey, and it was saying, how would you feel about an all-in-one service where no matter where you bought your stuff, you would be able to go ahead and watch your movie anywhere. So it didn't matter who you bought it from.
Yep.
Didn't matter Amazon, the iTunes.
Yeah, kind of like a legal version of Plex.
A little bit, yeah, something kind of like that. But just imagine that. So like imagine. Well, you know what? Let's not dance around the rhetoric here. Actually, it turns out Disney has done that. They had Disney Movies Anywhere. Not the same thing, though. Right. They've instead come up with Movies Anywhere. And it's great because you can take, like, your iTunes account, your Amazon account, your Vudu account. I
Hmm.
think all the major studios except Paramount and Lionsgate are buying into this.
Come on, Lionsgate.
Yeah, a little bit, but this is exactly. Imagine this: you link all of your different media because, like, I've got them all over the place, depending on where the movie was available at the time for a pre-purchase digitally speaking. Like,
Mhm.
I've got both Lego and Batman Lego movies, as well as Wonder Woman and Spider-Man: Homecoming trapped up in Vudu, right?
Okay.
And I've got some other movies. I think I've got like Trolls on Amazon. Not sure about any other services. So obviously I've made some purchases. So with this, I would be able to have my Anywhere account, and by linking these accounts, not only, and this is the really cool part to me anyway. It seems that when you do this, once you've got all your accounts linked, then your media also goes across all the accounts. So, like I said, like my Spider-Man Homecoming, ordinarily I would have to download the My Voodoo app in order to watch that, like on my iPad for an
Yep.
airplane. But now instead, if I've got my iTunes account linked to it, from the way I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, then my Spider-Man Homecoming would also show up in my iTunes and on my Amazon and all those things too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's exactly what it is.
I think the part that I find most interesting. Well, actually, first of all, when it comes to a service like this, what do you think? What are your thoughts on it, Trent?
I think it's brilliant. It's a beautiful way of showing how the cloud can actually be utilized. And it's funny because there's no doubt in my mind they're probably using Amazon servers. Amazon, the hell are you thinking? You could do this for people and make money off of it.
I think part of the problem though is they needed to have a heavy enough hitter to come to the plate on this. And with Disney, you got a lot of that
Sure.
weight now because you
Sure.
got all the animated movies, not to mention like all the Buena Vista pictures, as well as now all the Marvel
Marvel
movies.
stuff, yeah, totally. And it would be interesting to see how they do it too, because Disney does a lot of distribution even for films that they haven't done any production on. So who knows?
Yeah, all I know is that recently I would have benefited from this because of that exact same scenario I was saying. I've had 2 weekends now where I've made like little day trips down to LA, right? And
Hmm.
during that time, it's just a short like 48-minute flight. So I've learned, you could just close your eyes and meditate for that time and
Yeah,
probably get
totally.
something more out of it.
Yeah, you reach the height of the ascent, and then it's time for the descent.
Pretty much, but if I were having the iPad in airplane mode, which funny story there. But anyway, if I had the iPad in airplane mode and I already had Homecoming on it, I could have been watching like Homecoming the whole flight. I wouldn't have
Right.
had to interrupt that. But I didn't do that because I had purchased it on Vudu, and I didn't have the app loaded. I didn't have it downloaded, so I was in
Right.
a position
Yeah.
where nothing. Whereas if it were easily in my iTunes library, I could have already had it synced to the
Yep.
iPad.
Yep.
So it's a, and I got to tell you, man, the technology, it hasn't gotten to the point where it's frightening me yet because I can still get and grasp and conceptualize these things. But I'm still fearing that day when it's just like somebody tells me about this amazing thing, and I'm like, give me my remote. I need an app. Never mind.
So maybe you can tell us a little bit about these little weekend jaunts to the Holy Land. What are you doing in LA?
Oh, we can get to that. But first I want to finish talking about this movies anywhere
Okay.
thing.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I don't know that the thing I don't understand is there a subscription fee for movies anywhere though that to enable this service? Because I don't understand where the benefit is other than unifying everything to help gain like further wider acceptance.
Okay.
I mean, I can't understand why anybody would be motivated to do this. Do you?
I mean, if you've got the infrastructure, right? Like, why not? It's just one of those things. Like, you have to have a power player to do it. But then at the same time, it's I don't know. It's one of the things where back in the day when they had to actually change legislation so that the production company had to do distribution a certain way, or a production company couldn't own theaters, or a distribution company couldn't own theaters. Like we're kind of getting back into that realm where you have, I guess, a possibility of creating a monopoly. Obviously, things are diversified enough that you still have different options, but I mean, not everyone is storing their shit in a Google Drive file or a home server.
I think when we think about the way that Disney is building their existing infrastructure, they like everyone else. CBS is trying to ding us right now if we want to be able to watch Star Trek, and
Right.
you got your Hulu subscription, your Netflix subscription, and then now there could be. I'm not saying Movies Anywhere is like that, but there could be every other little service. Disney is pulling all their stuff from Netflix and from Stars because they're other than this Movies Anywhere thing, they're going to be building their own streaming platform as well. So,
Right. Right.
in the long run, in thinking towards that long term strategy, I guess that the Movies Anywhere project itself would at least it would be an investment just in consumer confidence, I guess is where I'm going with it. Like the only real benefit you get out of it is making sure people are comfortable with the online experience since that's what you're moving towards.
Right.
That's the only reason why I could see you would do that.
Well, and so in all reality, who do you need to go to for that to be a seamless transition? Despite iTunes being the absolute piece of software that's ever been made, Apple is the standard, right? Once Apple adopts something, then it becomes normal. Whether or not it was, we've talked about this before, whether or not it was technologically groundbreaking or not, that's when it becomes part of the zeitgeist. That's when it becomes expected. And so it's almost like you have to get buy-in there as well for it to have a seamless integration.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. That's very true. And not to mention, like I said, it's this is making sure it's easy for the consumers to use and easy to understand. So that way, when it comes to, hey, don't forget you can get our service and do this, then they're in a more of a buying mood. The only thing I hope all these companies realize is that there is a certain point where you're going to nickel and dime us enough with your
Yep.
$15 subscription here and your $15 subscription there,
Yep. Yep.
where we're going to reject that model as well.
Which is why, I mean, I think Hulu was very smart by getting stakeholders within the networks, right? Because then you have incentive for people to go there. I know that anything that's on NBC, I can watch on Hulu. It's not a big deal because NBC is a stakeholder in Hulu, right?
Now, as a cable cutter, though, how soon are you able to get it? Oh, you just have to have a paid account now, don't you? With Hulu?
Yeah, and I pay the $11 to not have any ads, which is amazing. And there are some shows that have a retarded delay, but I like Broad City is one that isn't coming out like day after. That's normally the case, day after. But other than like the Comedy Central stuff, most of it's like pretty spot on day after.
I'm surprised in this day and age that anybody really enforces any. Like, I think the CW has still done it best. It's like,
I
what?
totally agree.
Let's
Yep.
just hand over the content. We
Yep.
sell the ad space and we run it just like another network channel.
Yep.
And I think
totally agree.
and I think that is genius. I still can't believe anybody in this day and age would attempt to restrict anyone from getting their content, unless they have the one side we got to realize is there are talent licenses and all that jazz too, and negotiated contracts and that kind of stuff.
Totally, and streaming rights.
All that business stuff, man. It just
man,
gets
like
in the way.
I tell this to people all the time. Had I ambition in my 20s, I should have gone into media law because I love that stuff. I want to gobble it up.
Yeah, it's a crazy wild world, but especially when you've got people that are also like patent trolls now, where they just buy a patent on something and it loosely applies.
Yes.
Like,
Beautifully played out in this season of Silicon Valley.
oh, that's right. Because there was
Yeah.
the one scene by the guy who was buying the license for all the music, and
Uh-huh. Yep.
oh man, I forgot about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and by the way, I got to tell you, Silicon Valley, they really pulled off a really good, interesting season,
Yeah.
considering all of the tropes it's already been through, if you
Yep.
will.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they run into the problem, that which is why Office Space works so well as a movie, right? When Mike Judge made it, it was able to hit on all these things without like becoming a trope or becoming like, you can watch it once and it still feels relevant. If you were to watch it every single day, uh, you know, it would turn into The Office, but still, it would, I don't know, it wouldn't work. They're doing a good job of keeping everything relevant, even though some of the things are very niche, within like the Silicon Valley in and of itself.
Oh my gosh, the entire thing they had in spoilers. In one part, they're attempting to basically hijack Hooli's
Oh,
software to piggyback
yeah.
their software on it, and so they're literally using like legit methodologies, if you will, although they're represented a certain way by, like having their own Wi-Fi access points that will go ahead and act as that intermediary to make
Yep.
sure they get the adjusted Huli code version from through and all. It's little things like that. Because think about it: how often do you go in and just like look for Wi-Fi and then just join it without thinking?
Yep.
Yeah, and that's why I have gone into my phone and I have like enforced some serious shit on it because I'm just like,
Yeah.
stop trying to join everything, will ya?
And on I know for a fact, at least on the university here in Logan, their policy is no routers on campus.
Oh wow, that's
None.
interesting. So they don't
Because it
want
would because it would
anyone.
be so easy to just, oh yeah, you can just bridge through my router, and then you're collecting everything that that person does.
Yep, yes, that's true. So if
So
you're
you're
not,
still using the university internet, but you're bridging between a router that is unsecure.
yeah, well, plus it's also you got double natting issues at that point
Yep.
as well, and but you've also got somebody that does have a an uncontrolled access point for your network. So, whereas you may require an onboard certificate or just like your student ID and password in order to
Right.
access the campus internet. This could let you in for free, but then if everyone can get in, they can exploit and really. By the way,
Exactly.
a lot of this has been in the news, and
Oh, oh gosh, yeah.
I don't really talk about it, Trent, but it's interesting because in my day job,
Right.
I deal with information security,
Yeah.
and I got to tell you, I'm not going to say amazed, but I would say I'm alarmed at the number of breaches that we are starting to hear about now.
Yep.
Because it is definitely escalating. Even though it was great that it was with the Equifax situation,
Yeah.
because
Oh
it's like,
gosh,
oh,
yeah.
we had a breach. It's like, oh, yeah, we got another breach too. But hey, government, still give us the contract.
Yep.
And the government was like, no, I don't think
Nope.
so.
Not. Nope. Don't think so.
Anyway, getting back to it, Silicon Valley, good. Internet hacking, bad.
Bad.
And it's not even.
Fire
Well,
bad.
it's one of those things too where I think it's gotten further away from the conceptualization of taking credit card numbers because those have a very limited life cycle. Whereas I think it's
And
more
so
about
easy to shut down.
yeah, it's more about personal information theft now. I think in the industry, at least that's what I'm picking up because then
Yeah.
it's more important to be able to steal aspects of somebody's identity than it is being able to just get one chance at their Citibank Mastercard or what have
Right.
you.
Yep.
Anyway, but nobody cares about that stuff, Trent. They want to talk about geeky stuff. That's why they listen to NetHeads, right?
Well, before we stray too far again,
Yeah.
I want to know about why you're going to LA.
I bet you do, and that's a really great idea. I want to talk about that in just 1 second. First, I got to tell you about this fun little thing we went through. With my wife's computer equipment and her phone. If you
Oh,
don't mind.
is this where you said the airplane mode and that's a whole other thing?
Oh, that's a different part of the story.
Okay, okay.
So, longest story short, my
Sure.
wife officially at the point where she has the oldest Apple equipment in the house aside from a watch. Yes, okay, first world problems. I
Yeah, own it. It's
understand.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
But hey, hey, to quote the internet meme, it's real to us.
you know what? To quote another meme, treat yourself. Okay? That's what I got to say. That's what I got to say to that, Trent.
Yeah, I accept that.
Treat
I accept that.
yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway, so but she had the oldest iPhone in the house, and for her, and you don't think about these things in this manner until you realize the reality of the situation. My wife officially had the oldest phone, but that also means she had the most outdated camera, and her
Ah,
camera is her life's blood to like, we've got a 3-year-old and a
what
14-year
parent
old.
isn't?
We're
Yeah,
we're capturing
yeah.
memories.
My mom who has like 10 grandchildren. It's the life of her of it's the center of her life. So
Yeah.
for a mother, I can only imagine.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, well, wait, why can't I have portrait mode? And because the bigger one is the one that has the two cameras. Well, then that's the one I need. Okay, fine, that's great. And I got to tell you, I'm going to give you a scenario, and I'm going to have you tell me what I did wrong. Okay?
Okay.
So we're getting ready. We know we're going to do this. I've already gone on to AT&T. I've seen if there's anything involved in the upgrade. I've paid any additional fee if there has to be. It's great. I've even booked an appointment at the AT&T store that is hours away. In that time, while I've been setting all of that up, Denise has taken her iPhone and her existing one, and she has hooked it up to iTunes, and we have created a local copy on the hard drive of the
Okay.
phone. So that way we don't have to worry about any iCloud over the
Yep.
air long term updating bullshit, right?
Sure. Yeah, that makes total sense.
We did that. We verified the backup was captured. The backup is good. We went to the store, and it was one of those things where she has to trade in the old device in order to get the new device, right?
Right.
You
Yep.
with me?
Yeah, I
But
am.
so I'm going to give you just that amount. That's where we're at now.
Okay.
So the phone is going to get hand over and get wiped. Granted, we are given the option. It's like, oh, well, I can just hook it up here and we can clone it out. But, depending on the amount, it could be another 30 minutes.
Right.
And I'm thinking, well, I got the same thing at home. So in this scenario, have I done anything wrong you can think of?
Well, I wouldn't say anything wrong. The only thing that you could have done additionally would have been to back it up on a separate hard drive.
Fair enough. That's a good one. I like that. I like the way you're thinking. If there was another authorized computer, do it over there. Because,
Right. Yeah. If there was. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Because if you got two, you got one. If you got one, you got none, son.
Right. Yeah.
Right? You following me?
If recording NetHeads has taught us anything.
If you got two, you got one. If you got one, you got none. That's right. Both from the recording file and hosting level, really, if you
Yes,
think about
abs-
it. You got one,
so-
you got none. I think I've just accidentally insulted every guest host on the show. My apologies.
Lo siento.
Lo siento, por favor.
Yeah.
I didn't think I had done anything wrong in that scenario either, but lo and behold, believe it or not, this what I considered bulletproof upgrade situation went
Mhm.
south very quickly. We come home, hook the phone up to the computer, and the very first thing it tells us is that it's not compatible with that version of iTunes. It's like, well, shit on a shingle. That sucks.
Wait, the phone isn't, or the OS.
Yes, the phone and the OS. Technically, it was actually the phone wasn't compatible. So then we go to get the new version of iTunes, but guess what? You can't install that version unless you've upgraded to at least 11.0 or something at the Macintosh operating system level. And believe it or not, somehow the system has not been pushing to make sure anyone's aware of the fact that there's a new system
Updates,
update
yeah.
to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I haven't checked my wife's hard drive since. I suspect she's running low on memory or low on hard drive space because
Yeah.
then what proceeded to happen was this frustrating period of my wife being on a temporary version of her phone.
Oh God.
While in the meantime, first the operating system has to update. Then I think there was one more iTunes update. And in between those two things, we finally got the phone hooked up, and it told us the backup was corrupt. And I think that was before we upgraded iTunes.
Oh God.
So Denise is thinking we've gone through all this, and it's taken hours and hours because it's one of those situations where it, I believe it's an update that attempts to do it in a live fashion, so that way you can still supposedly go back and start
Right.
working within the system. And this is the
Yeah.
reason why I think she's low on hard drive space, because the system just until 1 o'clock yesterday or this morning, it was just dog slow because it had so much stuff it was churning in the background.
Yeah. But I mean, in the end,
Oh yeah. In the end, it worked fine. We hooked it up again, and it just, as a matter of fact, it updated, and Denise hadn't even known. She says, "Well, now it says iPhone 2, and it says it's done." It's like, "Oh, really?" And I looked, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's your backup."
that's awesome.
Yeah, but it was just one of those wacky things where it was like, is one stage is worse than the other, and I
Yeah.
felt so bad for her because. It was just this big thing. I gave her the assurance, no, you don't need to worry about your photos. They're backed up. You're fine.
Well, and but plus, I'm assuming. I'm sorry, I had a beard hair in my mouth.
Well, I'm sorry it was a beard hair, but okay.
Yeah, it was short and curly, but not the one I want.
Next thing you know, I'm on a biker's mustache headed to South Dakota. Sorry, that's an old joke. Go
He
ahead.
said I was his old lady now. I said okay. I mean, so for example, I have a coworker who realizes that he wants a OnePlus Android in the worst way possible. He's a huge Android fanboy, but he sticks with iPhone because it's because of iPhotos, because it's the place where his parents can log in and see all the photos of their daughter, and it's a little bit more private than having to upload them all to Facebook or something along those lines. So I'm assuming she's using iPhoto, and so those photos were all safe.
Well, here's the interesting twist: that my wife is like one of the last holdouts for using iCloud.
Ah.
So it was just, but I knew that in the act of archiving, it also synced
Sure.
our photos to a directory. So I wasn't worried about that. But people get touchy about like their text messages and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you don't really want to piss them off in that regard, because it's like suddenly all their shit's gone. Yeah, guess what? You're getting blamed for that, no matter
for
what.
Sure.
That's on you.
There are some pretty cool apps you can get. Like I've got one where I can pull off all of my my text messages from a certain user, or all of them if I wanted, and it'll put them into a Excel file.
Oh wow!
As XML. And so then what I'm doing for a present, I thought a great Christmas present, is to go through and make a book of like the entire text conversation for the past year with a friend. And so it's all there. And the coworker I have does her own like book binding. So she'll get like she can bind anything, and she'll get like records. She'll cut up records, and that'll be like the cover. Or I've got one that's a couple of circuit boards that she's bound as a book. I have it like as a moleskin. Anyway, so yeah, you can pull things off like that into a fairly formative way. I still have to go in and do a lot of InDesign work to make it like not just look like an Excel file. No one wants to read an Excel file.
No, nobody does. I spend enough time in Excel. By the way, name we haven't seen in a long time, at Fengar on Twitter 20 minutes ago, asked, so do you guys still pay any attention to Twitter while doing NetHeads? Yes. Although that was 20 minutes ago, so
well,
our bad. Well, I just realized while you were, and it's not that your story was boring. I just realized I haven't.
No.
I don't think either one of us has looked at Twitter.
We're always going back and forth. I think some great comments going on in the Facebook Live stuff, including Router Ninja, who believes he still has the Beating a Dead Gungan page that we had for that was our SWOTOR guild. But the winner of all comments so far comes from Murray. Can I get a shout out in Al Pacino's voice? Oh, wrong show.
Nice. Very nice. I fully respect that.
Oh,
That was fun.
but
Oh, well
speaking
played.
of the Smod family, it is Walt's birthday today.
It is Walt Flanagan, and
Yeah.
I also heard rumor they were shooting the Christmas special recently. If you're a member of the Ant Colony and a follower
Hmm.
of the Tell 'em Steve Daves,
Yeah.
that's going on. So a lot of stuff going on. I mean, actually, I don't know if you caught it last week. There was a Smodcast that dropped that I was blown away when it came in for processing,
Hmm.
and that was the Megan Phelps present on Smodcast.
Oh gosh, yes. She was also um the first guest on the new Sarah Silverman weekly show.
By the way, can I just tell you one of those dickhead moments? Um, so I'm sitting there and I get a message and it says, "Hey, new Smodcast on the server with Megan Phelps." And I, like a shithead, say, "Oh, awesome! That's perfect timing because she was also on Sarah Silverman's show." And near the tail end of the show, she says how she's like in town for the Sarah Silverman show. So I could
Uh,
just imagine that being read as, "Yeah, you know what? Yeah, tell me something I
yeah,
don't know,
he's like,
dickhead."
no shit, you piece of just
Really?
monkey. Do what you're told, okay?
Yeah, exactly. Don't
Push
give
the
us.
button.
I don't pay you to think, right? I don't pay you to think.
Okay, so now,
Yeah.
Will,
Oh yeah. Hey man, how's it going,
why
Trent?
were you in Los Angeles the past 2 weekends?
That is a really great question, Trent. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to answer that question right after I tell you about
That's how it's done, ladies. That's
none
how it's
other
done.
than the amazing, I can't play the background music, but the amazing crap that you can
Bow.
get in Loot
Oh,
Crate. Trent, if you go to
yes.
lootcrate.com/netheads, you get something off your first subscription. I don't even know what it is, and it shouldn't matter to you. You get
Money
cool
though,
stuff.
right?
Yeah, you get
Getting a
some money
percentage.
off. Of,
It's
you get
not like
something
you're
off
getting
the.
like not like you're getting the bra off of this first subscription.
No, you're not getting a bra. It's like $3 off
Okay.
your first
Well,
one. But
tomato,
but
tomato.
but the cool thing about Loot Crate is it's the best thing that you know is already coming. It's like
Hmm.
a little gift, a nerdy gift in the mail every single month. And you know what? If you are a more of a fanatical fashionista, they got Loot Wear, okay?
What's so good about it?
And you know, if you want bigger stuff, they got Loot Crate DX. And you know what, Trent? Don't you think Michael Cera would look good in Spock ears?
I can only assume you're talking about loot pets.
That is correct, sir. That's right. The Loot Pets. So they got a little something for everybody. You should check it out. lootcrate.com/netheads. I
On
think for Halloween, you can't get it anymore, but I think the theme was mystical. So that was awesome.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And actually, you know, one of the things
It
somebody
not
was.
not like Mystical, the rapper, who was
No,
like dangerous. Will smack your ass. Show me what you're working with.
that was really impressive, dude. I'm really.
Yeah,
That was.
I was a big fan in the early 2000s.
The only thing is, I'm not sure you want to be bringing that up during a paid
No,
advertisement. You know, that's
no,
licensing issues.
I
You
didn't.
said you wanted to get into the media law. Look at you, just
I thought that we had segued, but I tell you what, being and just talking about kind of the niche parts of geekery and fandom, you can get a WWE Slam Crate, which my good friend Jeremiah is subscribing to right now. He's got the best stuff. He got I believe it was a towel that was Roddy Piper's kilt. So when you wrap it around, it looks like you're wearing the Piper kilt.
oh, that's cool. That I
So
like.
awesome.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. And that's the kind of stuff you can get in Loot Crate. So, folks, just check it out. lootcrate.com/netheads. $3 off any subscription. Treat yourself. There you go. That's how you drop an ad without any music. Just
That was
boom.
good.
You like that?
That was
Just
good.
threw it out there, man.
I could have done boots and cats the whole time.
I
Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots.
I
Yeah,
think that would
see?
be a little distracting. I got to
Okay,
be honest.
fair enough. I accept that.
But I will say though that the important thing to remember is because I do multi-track recording as well. You could do it till the cows come home, and I could just take it out.
Loop it,
too.
baby.
Okay, Trent. So you've been asking a question. I'm sorry. What was the question again? I forgot what.
For the past 2 weekends.
By the way, I
you've
just have to tell you, the basket of things on the chair behind you. It almost looks like I don't even want to know what it looks like. It's
Yeah,
like a
you
sad
don't-
man's baby basket.
You don't need to know what's in there.
Well, I was making a comment. Well, people can't see in the full frame, but there's like a Jergens lotion bottle in there, and then I instantly like regretted bringing it up.
Right there.
Anyway,
Well,
what was the question, sir? I forgot.
you've been spending the past 2 weekends in Los Angeles.
Not the past two, but I've gone down
Yeah, a couple
one of
times.
2 weekends.
Yeah,
This was the
yeah.
last one. Actually, it was really cool. It was one of those things where, um, every once in a while things need a facelift or a pick me up, and it was time to fine tune Kevin's the Smod Cave or the Fat Cave or whatever you want to call his studio, and it was just a matter of refreshing cables and everything else. But the
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool thing that came from it was first of all the SM7B. Those came in, and
Got such a
naturally,
crush on that microphone.
my friend, you got to remember if I'm providing tech support on it, I got to be familiar with it. So that's
Yeah.
how this is here. And thanks to the wonderful people at Shure. So thank you very
Hmm.
much, Shure, because it sure is an amazing microphone.
It's the industry standard, man. It doesn't matter if you're going to a recording studio or if you're going to WYNC. That's what everyone's using is that microphone.
WYNC coming at you right now, bringing you the latest tracks and flax on wax with a barbecue sauce and a stack of jacks.
Ooh, I do like jacks
I don't know what just happened there. I'm sorry. I
and
don't
balls.
apologize.
I
Um,
play with my balls and jacks
and also, you're very fond of the boots.
and cats.
Very good, very good. Um, so really, that's all it was. But I got to tell you, it was a cool experience in respect to being able to just like get down there and back up in the same day. I know I shouldn't be amazed by this thing known as
That's
travel.
crazy though. That is crazy though.
Yeah, to be able to effectively get everything done that I needed to in the day and still comfortably get home, it's nice. I mean, it is weird. It never adds up correctly in my mind when you wake up in one place and then like later on in the day you are somewhere way the hell geographically not
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I get disoriented if I don't know the area because my geography is screwed up. I don't have reference to east or west because it's not shit I've grown up around with my whole life.
Right.
But it was just some really quick trips down. But the cool thing was not only being able to put in all the new equipment, but it was also just being able to see some new equipment. Even though I got to tell you, some of it, I'm just gonna say, in respect to usability, it was a little disappointing. Are you
Go
okay,
on.
or does Michael Sarah need to go out? What's going
No,
on?
Amanda was like, "Oh, Michael Sarah." I was gonna try and get him on cam.
Oh, okay, good. Well, so if I see
I'm
him, no matter
luring
what's
in.
going on,
Yeah.
if I see him on cam, I'll make sure to cut over, because
See
I'm
if
the
I
one
can.
I'm in control. Anyway, so in going down, one of the things I tried to do because machine noise, any line noise bothers me. Oh, look at him! There he is. Hi, Michael Sarah.
Okay, this is a
Whoa,
this is a
whoa! Look at that.
fun little trick we do. It's called "Take It Nice."
Take it.
Okay, Mike's take it nice. Take it nice. Mike's, come on, take it nice. Good
Good
boy.
boy.
Okay, so
Wow.
sorry to derail everything.
Quite all right. It was fun to watch him slobber all over your leg. It's not something you get to see every single day.
it's,
Um,
it's the only warmth I've had down there for a while.
okay, come on now. Stop it. Curling up with your 3DS XL FIGJ BYCC.
That and the Golden Girls, man.
Golden Girls, huh? Anyway, the cool thing about it was trying to get to see new technology. One of the things that I got my hands on, it's a product that's made by Zoom, where you can do, it's a
Yes.
mixer and a multi-channel recorder all in one. Because
So
one of the
cool.
things I've been trying to, or one of the things I've been evangelizing for a little while now, is multi-track recording.
Yep.
When done properly. So if you don't, you have at least 3 feet between you and somebody else, and
Yep.
you don't have cross, so you don't get them bleeding on your microphone. It
Yep.
is a great tool to make a better end product, both from being able to clean up the lines to,
Without a doubt.
if you wanted to shift Trent saying without a doubt when I wasn't saying something at the same time, I could shift him over a little.
Yep. Yep.
By the way, I've done that in posts some places.
And that's fine. Well, and that's the other thing too. And in doing this, a neat little trick is if you use hypercardioid or supercardioid mics, you can actually get in a little bit closer than 3 feet because that the pattern of the mic is so directional at that point that it doesn't even pick up anything on the sides.
Yeah, see, it's a tech podcast about podcasting, folks. That
Yeah.
was the original. I don't even think that was the original idea,
I
but
think that's what it is.
somehow it's. Well, that's why I loved pulling last week's headline from you. Like, it tried to be a thing. That was the show title, or last show's. Anyway, so this thing was really great, but I got to tell you, it just wasn't as user friendly as I would hope. I guess is the best way to put it.
So remember the Tascam version, more or less the same thing that you got me, right? It was an 8-track recorder and mixer, but the interface, like I still use it. It's a great recorder, but as far as like the mixing and like actually checking the different tracks and stuff, it's just not that simple as having a mixing board.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I was too. I was just trying to get it to where everything that was providing power to things was just coming from here, because that way you would, like, right now in here, it was very funny to me looking back on the video for the last show, because I'm like, it's the cleanest signal I've ever heard. But that's because it was only being heard on that side, right? There is a machine whine or noise that's coming from not you, but it's coming from the computer. So it's just, and you know what? That could just be because there is a poor ground that exists somewhere within the logic board.
Totally.
I mean, and that's all it is. So no matter what, I'm getting feedback from that machine. But it's also the only one that can handle the 2 video cameras plugged in at the same time I need to pull this off.
Luckily, though, you can isolate it, I'm guessing.
Well, yeah, after the fact.
Yeah.
But it's always going to be on the video. It's just nothing. Or I could try... actually, I've even got a filter on there already that's attempting to filter out the noise.
Nice.
Yes. So, I put these things in, but it doesn't help. Anyway, so this machine was great and it was beautiful, but it really was just a little more. It really it was built for a sound engineer. It's definitely not built for somebody recording podcasts. But, and here's the thing, they could make a less expensive, dumber version of that same device.
Dude. Yep.
And they would clean up if you couple it with a few nice microphones.
Yeah.
Sell it as a podcaster kit. Oh. So.
If you and granted, I'm the Tascam fanboy, but like the DK Mark IV, I think it is now. This guy, there's a new one that does have 4-track capability, and you're not going to have a lot of, like, you still might need some sort of mixer or mixing to get levels. Anything, if there's one thing I've learned, anything you can do pre is going to save so much time in post.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think, something along those lines. Or the other thing that's actually a pretty cool option are recording devices made specifically for DSLR cameras. They will have multiple inputs as well, and they're actually pretty affordable.
Yeah, it's always and that's the thing I love, is it always seems like the home enthusiast always comes up with these ways to find products that weren't meant for this, but boy howdy does it work great for this.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm podcasting with a shotgun mic right now.
Exactly. But in the end, that's actually genius, because you've never sounded better.
I know, dude. It's like, I don't know.
Well, because again, getting down to the direction of the microphone and what it picks up, it's only looking for something. It's much like these, something right in front of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Unless you have the headphones too loud, then they could hear you that way too. Whatever.
Okay. So.
So anyway, so I wasn't able to put that in, so that was a little disappointing, because the second trip was to finish up something. Because, by the way, I'll tell you, no matter what you do, it seems like you cannot properly prepare for these situations unless you were to buy like 4 variations of everything you need.
Right.
So
I went show up.
Yeah, and I got to admit, part of it was my mistake, because I remembered to get cloud lifters for the microphones. However, if you do that, that means that you're still going to need another XLR.
Another set of XLRs, yep.
So I was caught unawares there. And then, it's just like a matter of trying to get either down to Guitar Center or Fry's. Anyway, it just...
Yeah.
Ugh. So I had to go back for that, as well as I thought put in this device, but instead no, and I just put all the shit that I took out back,
Yeah.
but that part didn't take a lot. I mean, so it was mostly getting all the microphones wired up and getting the nifty little patch, little just like a 3-foot XLR cable is so adorable. And
I have one of those that you can just plug into itself.
yeah, it's a little, it's a
Yes.
necklace, it's a bracelet.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes, I just
Uh-huh.
described an XLR cable as cute. God help me. Um,
Okay. Go on.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. So that's really was it. It was just it, but it makes sense because it was time. It was over 5 years with some of that
Yeah,
equipment,
I remember because it was the man cave episode, right? That
and
the last time.
and for that there wasn't a lot. It was actually a lot of reuse stuff. So
Right. Yeah.
technically, that stuff is
A lot of stuff. Yeah, a lot of stuff that came from Smod Castle.
yeah. So no, not even Smodcastle because when we built the Smodco Internet Radio Studios, we used new equipment for that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So, but it was still all of those original cables, and so it's everything from 2011. So it's
Yeah.
6 years old.
Yeah.
And it's a
With-
warm
with
environment.
a lot, yeah, in a lot of use, and sometimes some what would I call
Dry,
ambient
very
irritants.
yeah, just very dry air, as
Uh-huh.
though
Yeah.
like incense burning, kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, and that's gonna settle eventually somewhere.
Somewhere, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
like on everything. Um, no, I'm kidding. I don't.
Well, which see last episode about covering up your equipment when you're not using it.
Exactly. Or depending on the piece of equipment, covering it up when you're using it.
Yes.
It all depends
Yes.
on which way you're going to swing that one.
Yeah.
No, the thing, I forgot to bring it in here, and I meant to because I was like, oh, I can use this to keep an eye on Twitter for now because I don't have enough screens already.
Sure.
This one, shit, all doesn't even do anything right now. Where's the noise? I don't know. It's gone. Yay! Anyway, no, when we went in for the wife's phone upgrade, right?
Yeah.
This was the second time I've gone in for a phone upgrade. Previously, like a few weekends ago, I took Emily to upgrade her phone as well.
Right.
And so when we went in, it was the second time I was getting one of these tablet offers for it's like, well, if you add a line, you can just get this tablet for just a fraction of the cost.
And it's like, well, shit. At that point, I'd be losing money not to do it.
That's exactly what I said. So
Well,
now I got myself a new one of the 9.7-inch iPads, and I'm like,
oh, I love those little guys.
no, it's 9.7, so it's not the mini, but I don't know if it's as big as the
Honestly,
original one.
anything over like 4.5 inches is incomprehensible to me.
I completely understand what you're saying right there. I know, it's just I can't even fathom anything beyond that.
Yeah.
Maybe 5, but that's
Nope.
well,
Nope.
little weight loss. You never know, my friend. Optical
I
inch, do a
know.
little trimming, maybe.
Yeah, well, trust me, I've done all the tricks.
All right, my friend. Well, I will trust you there. I don't want to get more in depth on that one at all. But now I feel stupid because literally I've got this thing that I have absolutely no practical use for. But I will say that it's now so much lighter and easier than the one that I got. Oh, what do you know? 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's so much lighter and
Oh,
easier that
man.
it is nicer to use.
Picking up an old iPad is a weird feeling.
And like, why did somebody leave this decorative tile around? It really feels like a tile slab.
So heavy.
Right?
Yeah, it really is, and thick too.
And this is woo easy there, Tiger.
Well, that's one thing I understand is girth.
Yeah, I hear that's a good thing. That's what I hear though.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know because my kid and I feel bad. The eldest has said, "Oh, cool. Well, can you take your iPad back to your old iPad back to factory for me then? Can you wipe it out?"
Yeah.
She's all excited, and yeah, it's about the same size. It's just not as heavy as this one.
Yeah, they are. They're crazy heavy.
I was shocked. I really was. I at the difference. It's like amazing how much technology can change because it
Okay.
never does.
Now, I do have a question,
Yeah.
and this is the fanboy in me, so please indulge me a little, if you will.
Oh, you're going back to the studio, aren't you? This has nothing to
yeah,
do with
yeah.
iPads.
No,
Okay,
no.
just wanted to make sure I was on the same page.
Yeah. So when you're working, right? And if you're like me, dude, like the smallest amount of exercise mixed, like when I say exercise, I mean just movement mixed with like even the smallest amount of stress creates profuse sweating. Now, I'm assuming, you're moving things around, you're trying to get things to work. There might be a little stress. You're moving. Do you? I mean, does anyone pop in and be like, "Hey, yeah, you need some lemonade?"
No, the first time I was let in, that was when I think they were on the Florida tour or something. I don't remember where they were not here though, and
Uh-huh.
so that was just that day. And I will say too that there was air conditioning on the first floor, but I don't think it exists on the second. Heat rises. But he actually in the studio, not, and this isn't a proprietary secret. So I don't think
Sure,
it's like
sure, sure, sure.
he's got a fan on the desk and
Right.
an air circulator too, so you can get a pretty decent breeze. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Anytime I'm in that situation, whenever I'm there working, I think I just instantly start sweating
Oh,
anyway.
dude, I can't even imagine. I totally would.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
I think the perspiring starts about when I'm reaching for the doorbell, and
yeah.
then it stops probably about 20 minutes after that,
Like I like I
after
get I
leaving.
get I get crazy sweaty like putting a DVD in the player. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
gosh! Sometimes I got to
Like,
go upstairs to get a cable, man. Come on.
oh god. Now, okay. I mean, this time, did anyone be like, "Hey, sure do appreciate you," or anything like that? No.
That's a really slippery slope you're actually traveling down if you
No, hey,
think about it.
I'm just,
Wow, look
I
how amazing the of a fill light this iPad
yeah, that's
is.
actually fantastic.
Damn.
I know. I
Ooh.
just, the fanboy in me wishes I could have been like, had a live stream from a GoPro on your forehead the whole time. You're like, I don't know.
It,
It's so
it's
cool, man. It's cool. It's
it's
cool.
yeah, but it's
It's work, but it's
yeah,
cool.
it's work though. It's work, and it's one of those things too where it's like, okay, yeah, okay. Well, first of all, you have to realize that the one drawback is you realize that from this moment forward, any single recording you get, if it sounds bad,
It's your
it's
fault,
your
dude.
fault.
Totally. Yeah, it's true.
And there is some. I mean, seriously, there are some of these shows and some of these recordings, and I don't take this for granted at all. I consider it in some ways an honor to be able to play my part in the delivery
Oh,
of some of these things that are life changing. And I'm not saying I in any way, shape, or form claim anything from that. I,
totally.
I
Yeah.
don't, but it makes me feel good at times. Like even when people tell me our cruddy little podcast here helps them get through something, that
Hmm.
means something to me. So
Hmm.
being a part of the delivery chain, even being involved makes me feel good because I know I'm bringing some joy into the world.
Totally.
Um,
You're
so
you're you're part of the creative process.
in a way, but anyway,
Dude,
but
you should totally part of it.
with all of that in mind, like when I'm there, the other thing I'm very cognizant though is that I'm in someone's house.
Totally.
And it
Yeah.
doesn't
That's
even
yep.
it doesn't matter if it's his house or somebody else's. It's like I'm not generally supposed to be here. My presence is, disrupting something somehow. It just
Yeah.
always is. And then I'm always like there's cameras everywhere. There's got to
Do,
be. No,
do
I'm
you maybe
kidding. There aren't, by the way. But
well,
I'm just saying,
well,
that's what you're
maybe
worried about.
there's a panic room.
That's what I've heard. I've never seen the panic room.
So maybe next time to put everyone at ease, because I'm sure it's never an easy thing having a repair person in your home. You know what I mean? I try to be as casual about it as I can be, because I'm usually like, oh yeah, just step over that pile of trash. I'm getting to that eventually. No worry there. But I'm sure that's not their case. But maybe a way to kind of break the ice, but and maybe establish some rules, social rules between a homeowner and worker. Maybe you can get like a carpenter's belt you could wear, and like hang a microphone out of it with some XLR cables, and like a task cam, you can slide one zoom down right in there, and
Actually, you
uh
know what? It's funny you mention this because the no, no, no. When Hollywood Babylon came to San Jose, that was an opportunity to get one of my friends involved because he ran the video footage for Hollywood for the Babelvision for those two shows.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a guy I've known for years, so it's great to have him come in. But what he has got, so there are these I can't remember the name of it, but there are these really really nice like video equipment bags. They're soft-sided bags, but lots of cushioning. I
Yep.
can't remember the name of them. Well, he also has a black vest made by the same company, and it's got like these big pockets right
I've
here.
seen
It's
it.
almost
Yep.
it's almost like a tactical vest,
Yep.
but it's for like
Totally.
field production.
Yeah, it's like a fisherman's vest, but for
Yeah, but for putting bigger things
production.
in.
Totally. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it's true. When you wear something like that, it's like suddenly people listen to you. It's like, oh well, he's got the vest.
Yeah.
So
You
this
fucking-
guy says
you-
we need to
yeah.
move the table, so I think we need to move the table.
Yep.
I mean, did you see his vest?
Yeah.
I saw his vest. It
He's
looked pretty
wearing a
official.
vest, man.
Exactly, and it's got.
I'm
you
just
see
saying,
the
or
pockets on that
maybe-
thing.
Maybe you don't even have to go that far, and you can just get a speed suit that you can change into when you get there. And so it looks like, and we can get a little patch on it that
You mean
says,
a jumpsuit?
well,
No,
I mean,
no,
I'll-
a speed suit.
it's a speed suit. Okay, if we're using the venture vernacular,
Oh, as
um,
always, because that's part of our lexicon at this point.
maybe that would also be, and a little separation there between the two sides. I don't know.
No,
Something
and
to
by
think
the way,
about.
to answer your question, just to make sure it's very clear, actually, yes, I was told my efforts were very much appreciated, and the
I
things
don't
had
doubt
done.
it.
I was
do
told
not
I
doubt
was
it.
awesome, so that was great.
Whoa, yeah. Well, hey, stop bragging, man.
No,
Jeez.
I just meant. I mean, I'm just telling
I'm
you what was
joking.
conveyed.
I'm joking.
I mean, why you gotta be a dick like this now? I mean, what the hell?
Well,
I mean,
do
you
what I
saw the
can.
way the show started, the rough beginning we had to put up with. Now you're telling me I'm being rude? Which I
yeah.
am. I always am, unfortunately.
No, stop it. Hey, you stop.
Yeah, okay, fine, I'll stop.
Stop.
But the cool thing is at least knowing that there's new equipment in there and all the line levels are set and everything. So, now I'm just pissed scared to hear what the first thing that comes out of the studio sounds like.
It's gonna sound great, dude. I have no doubt. If not, I'm sure you can book a flight very quickly.
Yes, and if I don't want to worry about it, I've even got the points, Trent, so I can
Yeah.
I
There
can
you
be
go.
down there in a heartbeat. Just got to pay the taxes at that point.
There you go.
I gotta tell you though, the people at the Oakland airport, I don't necessarily
Oh,
think
I
they're
love the Oakland
thinking-
Airport.
It really is so easy to get in and out of.
You couldn't pay me to fly into San Francisco.
No, it's because that's hell. It's the cloverleaf
Yep.
of doom.
Yep.
But the thing is, their TSA, I came walking in, and it was just like the biggest line. It was ridiculous. And then I looked down, and somebody has dropped like a VIP card for like the premium parking area that gets you like a shortcut on the TSA line.
Yeah.
And I held it up and like, somebody lose this? Anyone? You know what I did at that point,
You
Trent?
used it.
Nope, I put it on the garbage can and I got in line because that's the kind of guy I am. It's not my card. I can't use that. Didn't matter. I was there so early. I got on the plane. It was no big
Oh,
deal.
okay. Sure. Yeah.
I will
No,
s-
Oakland is like anytime I've had to go to San Francisco, Oakland is by far the preferred place, and I'm happy to drive in.
Well, you're also not on the ass end of a lot of traffic zones,
Yes.
which
Yep.
which you really are. Getting out of San Francisco, you've got traffic all the way up to and getting off of the bridge. So,
Yep.
But nobody called to ask about that. Nobody's looking for that kind of information. Trent, I don't even know why you're bringing it up. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to know about driving from San Francisco.
Well, it just depends on if you're going up to Danville, or maybe over to Pleasantville or Pleasanton while you're there. It's just saying.
Maybe you wanted to go to the restaurant Bridges in Alamo where they filmed scenes from Mrs. Doubtfire. You could be doing that. I can understand that.
Hello.
I could completely understand that. But anyway, I think that's about all I've got for this week. I mean,
I think we've had a stuttered start, but a good show.
yeah, very good. I like, when you say it that way, Trent, it's reassuring. And, when you're wearing I don't know what it is, but like when you wear the hoodie like you are right now,
Yeah.
it kind of gives me like, it's like that feeling I got when I saw Mr. Rogers put on his sweater at the beginning of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Won't you be, please won't you be my neighbor? Hello, neighbor.
And how quickly were you able just to crank that shoe off your foot? That was amazing.
Got it.
Oh,
My thumbs hurt so bad.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. Well, it just
Stupid
goes
high
to show.
tops.
Now this is going to be fun because now we're going to do all the stuff, but like stuff has to go in post. So now we're going to just have pauses, right? Like
Yeah.
like the stuff played. And if
Yeah.
and if I were smart, I would reach over and I would hit the mark button because I would know that changes need to be made. So anyway,
Yep.
there we've set the stage. So it's not like we're pretending the music's not there because we know it's not there.
Oh yeah, it sounds so good.
But it's not there. It's not. So anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Greatly appreciate your time. As always, please give us a 5-star review on iTunes. Tell your friends. Have them subscribe. If you want to follow Trent on Twitter, he is a part of him. I am NetHead WW. The show is NetHeads on Air. And until next time, we'll be back
Soon.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. And then I have a witty observation to go ahead and get us something to laugh about to get out of this thing.
Boobs.
Do 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 do.